There's no way. Look though, look. Players like this come around once, sometimes in our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been
once in a generation, certainly.
But no player in NBA, in WNBA history, has had to deal with this.
The one thing I just don't like, and I don't care what people say, I feel like there's a lot of hate on Caitlin Clark, and I think because she's.
When NBA legends speak, people listen, not out of obligation, but because they've seen it all, the championships, the controversies, the raw reality of greatness. So when those same legends weigh in on Caitlin Clark, you know the conversation has entered a whole new level. This isn't about PR-approved compliments. This is unfiltered, sometimes uncomfortable truth, and what happens when legends don't just praise, you know, when they call out the league itself. When Magic Johnson, Charles Barkley, and George Gervin step up, siding with Caitlin and calling out the hate, it signals something big has shifted. These aren't bloggers or analysts. These are the men who built the league. And now, they are holding it accountable. Their words aren't just praise, they are pressure. Pressure on the WNBA, on the media, on players who've treated Caitlin like a target rather than a teammate. Because if the league ignores them, it risks losing the one thing it's chased for decades: real, lasting relevance. They are not just watching, they are naming names. Some call her the Tiger Woods of women's basketball. Some say if she's not on the court, nobody's watching. Others call out the hate by name: race, jealousy, bitterness, things no one dared touch before, and what Magic, Barkley, and Kevin Garnett reveal next. It's the kind of truth that could shake the league to its core. Jeff Teague doesn't speak like a media pro, he speaks like your cousin who just watched the game and has something real to say. When Caitlin Clark came up, he didn't deliver a polished take. He gave a reality check.
Ain't nobody gonna watch basketball if she ain't playing.
Nobody is going to watch basketball if she isn't playing. That single line says more than half the hot takes out there combined. Teague wasn't guessing. He wasn't exaggerating. He was stating a fact, and it cuts deep. Think about it. A former NBA All-Star just admitted that one WNBA player is the reason people are tuning in. And he didn't say it to inflate her ego. He said it because he's seen real star power, and Caitlin has it. She isn't just boosting viewership, she is the viewership, and then Teague didn't stop there. He didn't just praise Caitlin Clark, he anointed her.
Best.
She's the best ever, bro. I don't care, bro. She's the best ever, bro.
So she gonna be like LeBron with the stat.
Let's slow down for a second. This isn't casual barbershop talk. This is a grown man who played at the highest level, putting Caitlin in GOAT conversations just 2 years into her pro career. And it's not just about the numbers, it's about what those numbers mean. Teague sees the game trending toward her. He's not predicting success. He's predicting dominance, the kind you measure in box scores, banners, and billion-dollar contracts. And what makes it hit harder? He wasn't smiling. He wasn't joking. He believed every word. Teague doesn't hand out praise lightly. This is the guy who once said he didn't think Kawhi Leonard was that good after guarding him. Jeff keeps it brutally real. So when someone like him says Caitlin Clark could be the LeBron of women's hoops, you stop what you're doing and pay attention. And the next legend? He didn't even need words to prove how big Caitlin's become. Michael Thompson, a two-time NBA champion and father of one of the greatest shooters ever, has been around stars his whole life, on the court, in locker rooms, in tunnels. So when he says something about Caitlin Clark, you listen.
When I was in Indy, I didn't care about that. The only thing I remember about Indy is when I was leaving Cambridge Arena in a loading dock, Caitlin Clark walked right by me, and I froze. I didn't say hello to her. How about that? My favorite basketball player outside of Clay was right there in front of me. There she was, and I said, no, I can't do it. But getting back to your question, you're right. That's what I remember most about Indiana. Caitlin Clark was right.
He didn't choke in front of Michael Jordan. Didn't freeze around Magic. But Caitlin Clark walks by, and he's speechless. That's not a compliment. That's all because Michael isn't reacting to just a good player, he's reacting to a force. Something cultural. Something so powerful it makes grown men forget what they were going to say. She's not just playing in the WNBA, she's reshaping it, and when a guy who raised Klay Thompson says Caitlin is his favorite player, that's not hype. That's confirmation. She's broken through every level of the basketball world, men's, women's, fans, players, and now, legends. Just when you think the respect can't get any bigger, one of the NBA's all-time greats gives her both a challenge and a crown. Magic Johnson knows exactly what it means to carry a league. He did it with style, under pressure, with enemies watching and fans following. So when he speaks about Caitlin Clark, he's not handing out compliments, he's offering context.
Going to be tested by these incredible women who've been in the league for a long time. Caitlin is the most popular WNBA player, but she's not the best at this time. Just like Larry and I were not the best when we entered the league. We became the best later on by our play. Caitlin still has to play great to become the...
That's not hate, that's a standard. And coming from Magic, it's actually a compliment, because he's not just saying she's popular. He's saying her path is already mirroring the greats like him and Bird. Caitlin isn't being measured on a different scale, she's being measured against legends. That's how monumental this is, and the best part. Magic isn't writing her off. He's saying, keep going. You've got the stage. Now take the crown. But not every legend stayed so calm. One Hall of Famer said what a lot of fans have secretly wanted to hear. Reggie Miller has never been shy about speaking his mind. One of the coldest shooters and trash talkers in NBA history, Reggie is used to getting in people's heads. So when he saw what Caitlin Clark had been facing, he didn't preach patience. He suggested violence.
Now, what I would love Caitlin to do is get up one time and then just slap the...
And that's not even a joke. It's a line packed with frustration, not from Caitlin, but from Reggie himself. He sees what's happening, the constant hits, the flagrant fouls, the strange silence from the league and other players. And he's saying, enough is enough, because when you've got a star carrying your ratings, bringing in fans, and raising the profile of your sport, you protect her. Period. And the fact that nobody has? That's why Reggie's words are so sharp, not to create chaos, but because maybe it'll take one wake-up slap to make people see the truth, and someone else who knows exactly how to deliver a message like that. A 7-time NBA champion. Shaquille O'Neal. Robert Horry doesn't say much, but when he does, it's cold, calculated, and real. So when Shaq said Caitlin Clark needs to wait her turn, Horry didn't defend him. He didn't soften it. He didn't ease in. He blew the whole idea up in one sentence.
Loved Caitlin Clark, but, quote, she needs to wait her turn. Do you agree with the idea that great players, no matter how great they are, need to wait their turn? This was from Ben.
Hey, first of all, let's start off with Shaq. You ain't wait your...
Straight up. That wasn't just a comeback, it was a call out to everyone who thinks Caitlin should slow down or earn her respect. Corey's not buying it. Not when the league is already profiting off her. Not when she's the reason the spotlight is even on. If anything, she's earned more in months than some players do in a decade. And HY knows it. He's seen stars rise. He's seen greatness develop. What he sees in Caitlin isn't something that can wait, and if Pierce wasn't clear enough, Paul Pierce took it even further. He said what Caitlin is facing right now is something no player has ever dealt with before. Pierce knows pressure, he's played through it, lived in it, thrived under it. But when he looks at Caitlin Clark, he sees a level of pressure even he never had to carry. And he didn't say it casually. He broke it down with a kind of respect that only comes from someone who's been there, done that, and knows exactly what it takes.
Players like this come around once, sometimes in our lifetime. There hasn't been
once in a generation, certainly.
But no player in NBA, in WNBA history, has had to deal with this, right?
What?
What she's dealing with.
What?
Like
what is she dealing with?
Fouling from day one, already. But she's been crowned. I mean, she's already. Nobody who was the face of the league in the first few years of the WNBA.
That pause, that stutter, that's Pierce searching for precedent and not finding any, because there isn't one. Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the league; she became its focal point overnight. Endorsements, ratings, headlines, expectations, every player, veteran or rookie, is watching her every move. Pierce knows what it's like to be crowned too early. He knows the heat that comes with being the next one. But Caitlyn is dealing with that and so much more: race narratives, locker room jealousy, league silence, endless cameras. He didn't say she's perfect. He didn't say she's done it all. But he made one thing clear: nobody has ever been hit this hard this fast, and she's still standing. And if that wasn't enough, Kilogram stepped in and made it spiritual. Kevin doesn't play politics. He doesn't care who's offended. He doesn't sugarcoat the truth. So when he spoke about Caitlin Clark, he did what only Kilogram can do: he made it raw, real, and personal.
Privilege too, though. It's a privilege, though. It's a privilege to be in a position where others are hating on you. And when others are hating on you, that means you're doing something right. You know what I'm saying?
And with that, Kilogram flipped the whole narrative about Caitlyn being hated on its head. Most people see the backlash, the fouls, the cold stares, and ask, why is this happening? But Kilogram sees it and says, good. Hate only comes when you're a threat. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's a walking disruption. She's making money moves, media moves, and culture moves. And the hate? That's just proof it's working. Kilogram has been that player before, the one with a target on his back, the one opponents don't want to see succeed. He's not giving Caitlyn sympathy. He's giving her the lesson every legend eventually learns: if they are not mad, you're not doing enough. Then came a legend who took it even further, not just about haters, but about consequences. Rick Barry didn't just call it wrong. He didn't dance around the topic or tiptoe. He went straight for the jugular. While some former players are only now admitting Caitlin Clark is facing unnecessary contact, Barry went a step further and demanded action.
Reprehensible what they're allowing some of these players. Anybody that does something flagrant to this young lady for what she's brought to the game should be suspended and fined big time for doing.
That's not a hot take. That's a Hall of Famer calling out league accountability. Rick Barry isn't saying Caitlyn needs to be babied, he's saying the league needs to wake up. Right now, they are letting players take cheap shots at the most valuable asset they've had in decades and pretending it's normal. This isn't about a hard screen. It's about intent, hitting her for who she is, not how she plays. And Barry sees it. He's not arguing for special treatment. He's arguing for equal protection. If any other star in the NBA or WNBA got tackled off the ball like Caitlyn has, there'd be fines. There'd be ejections. There'd be press releases. But with Caitlyn? Just a shrug and a silent whistle. Barry is saying what the league refuses to: you're letting this happen, and it's shameful. And the worst part? The very players who benefit most from Caitlyn's presence, some of them are the ones doing the damage. George Gervin saw it too. And what he said next might be the realest take of all. Known as the Iceman, cool, calm, legendary, Gervin didn't stay quiet. He melted the room. He didn't just talk about the hate. He went deeper, talking about the value Caitlyn brings to every single player in the WNBA, even the ones throwing elbows at her.
We're dealing with imperfect people, and when you look at it, they don't know the value that she's bringing for all of them. She bringing, they flying private planes now. They went flying private before she came. They on major networks now. They weren't doing that. See, she remind me of Tiger Woods for golf.
Yes.
He changed the paycheck.
Let that sink in. Tiger Woods for golf, Caitlin Clark for women's basketball. And Gervin wasn't done.
Body unions making this an issue for these girls to say, like, man, we need another Caitlin Clark if we gonna be able to get all these benefits, because they.
This isn't just a compliment. It's a call out to the league, to the players, to the unions. Caitlin Clark is the rising tide lifting every boat. She's the one bringing better flights, better deals, bigger audiences, and yet she's also the one taking the hardest hits. The math doesn't add up, and Gervin sees it as clear as day, but he's not the only one calling out the hate directly. Matt Barnes said the quiet part way out loud. Barnes has always been brutally honest, on the court, off the court, on podcasts, on TV. He says what others are too afraid to admit. So when he spoke up about Caitlin Clark, he didn't just defend her. He dropped a truth bomb.
He has the Tiger Woods effect. The way he put golf fans in a craze. Whether you're a golf fan or not, you tuned in and you wanted to learn about the game because he was so incredible. I think
That's high praise. But then he said the part everyone else was too afraid to touch.
One thing I just don't like, and I don't care what people say, I feel like there's a lot of hate on Caitlin Clark, and
There it is. No dodging, no vague allusions to bias or resentment. Barnes laid it flat. A lot of this hate is racial, and he's not wrong. Caitlin's not the first flashy guard, not the first bucket getter, not the first player with confidence, but she is the first white woman marketed as the face of the WNBA from day one. For some, that's a problem. Barnes said what many are whispering behind the scenes. This isn't about paying dues or veteran toughness. It's about discomfort with who's now holding the torch. He didn't say it to stir drama, he said it because it's the truth. And truth like that doesn't need defending. Then came Isaiah Thomas, Zeke. He wasn't whispering either. A master of basketball IQ, Thomas doesn't just see what's happening on the court, he sees why it's happening. And when he broke down Caitlin Clark's game, he didn't focus on hype, headlines, or controversy. He focused on the basketball.
Now, they're running. You see creativity, you see originality, you see all that stuff in transition now because the floor is spread. As soon as they get the ball, make a miss, they are out, man. They are out filling the lanes, running their spots, getting to their spot. Why? Because they know Caitlin gonna give it up. That's the beauty that we're watching in basketball, right?
That's not just a compliment. That's an analysis of impact. Isaiah isn't talking about Caitlin scoring, he's talking about how her presence is reshaping the entire game. She's not just changing how defenses react. She's changing how her teammates run the floor. She's speeding up the WNBA's pace, unlocking movement, spacing, and creativity, all as a rookie. And Thomas, one of the most unselfish, high-IQ point guards in NBA history, sees it clearly. Caitlin isn't just a shooter or a scorer, she's the engine. When a Hall of Famer breaks down your game like this, that's not hype, that's validation, and that leads us to a player who knows a thing or two about training, work ethic, and spotting real shooters. Patrick Beverley kept it short, but the respect was loud. Beverley doesn't hand out compliments easily. He's a grinder, a professional irritant, a guy built on defense, discipline, and outworking everyone else in the gym. So when he gives respect, especially to another grinder, it means something.
I say what's up, but I'm not the type to say what's up to interrupt your workout because I don't like people to interrupt mine. She can shoot the shit out of it.
And the WNBA assist leader this past year.
She can shoot the shit out the ball.
She's a great shooter.
And she's one of those workout.
That last line, one of those workout people, is where the real praise lives. Because for Pat Bev, that's the highest compliment. It means you show up early, stay late, keep your head down, and grind while the cameras flash somewhere else. And that's exactly how he sees Caitlin Clark, a pure worker who lives in the gym and earns everything she's getting. He didn't overhype her. Didn't compare her to stars. He just kept it real. She's got the strap. She's got the vision. She's got the discipline. And maybe that's why so many players don't know how to handle her. They see the media attention, the charter flights, the spotlight, but they don't see the grind behind it. Pat Bev sees it. He's lived it. And that's why he respects it. Then finally, the mic dropped. Barkley spoke, and he didn't hold back. Charles Barkley has always been loud, unfiltered, unapologetically honest. But when he addressed how the WNBA has handled Caitlin Clark, he wasn't just speaking the truth. He was dropping a grenade on live television.
Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they tried. People believe what we say on television. Just because people don't like you or your personality, they can't get on TV and slander you. It's just total bullshit. This girl is incredible. The number of attention, eyeballs she's brought to college and the pros, and for these women to have this petty jealousness, you say to yourself,
that wasn't commentary. That was an indictment. Barkley went after it all: petty players, bitter vets, biased media voices, and a league that somehow managed to fumble the biggest star in its history. He laid it bare: Caitlin Clark is the reason WNBA players are flying private, getting more media coverage, and finally seeing the benefits they've demanded for years. And how are some reacting? Cold shoulders, targeting her, dismissing her, as if she hasn't earned it. Barkley's message was crystal clear: you asked for this moment. Now don't ruin it. Whether they like her or not, the truth remains the same: she's already changed everything. And if Barkley has to be the one to say it first, he's not afraid to light the fuse. If this many legends can see it, Magic, Kilogram, Pierce, Jervin, Barkley, then what's everyone else waiting for? They are not confused. They are not afraid to speak. And they are sure as hell not staying silent. So why is the league? Caitlin Clark doesn't need protection. She's already proven she can take the hits. But when legends speak up, it's not for her, it's for everyone else. They are not sugarcoating. They are not sidestepping the race talk. They are not ignoring the hate. They're saying the quiet part out loud: the double standards, the dirty fouls, the jealousy, and the league silence. Matt Barnes called out the hate directly. Reggie Miller said, maybe it's time Caitlin slaps someone. Rick Barry said, suspend anyone who targets her. George Jervin compared her to Tiger Woods. Charles Barkley said, this league is fumbling its biggest star in history. How many more signs do you need? Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the WNBA. She changed the stakes. She flipped the spotlight, turned empty gyms into sold-out arenas, and dragged women's basketball into the mainstream, with nothing but a jumper and a chip on her shoulder. And now the old guard, the ones who built this game, are telling the new guard to pay attention, respect the moment, and respect the woman, or get left behind. Because what Caitlin is doing right now isn't temporary. It isn't hype. It's the beginning of a legacy.